You were live. Okay, let's see what it looks like on Twitter. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, dude. Retweet this shit. Tag you underneath. Live with.
What's your opinion on the Twitter live feature?
So I love it actually. It's just where, like, if I have the biggest audience, sorry, I like the comments, I like all the stuff, except for that you can't listen and scroll Twitter. I think you should be able to listen. Like, now on YouTube, you can drop the video down and leave the YouTube app while you're on your phone. And that was like the biggest thing that YouTube could have ever done, because when you had to watch YouTube before and it was just on your phone and you literally couldn't leave the app, like that was just limiting people. So if Twitter can have the live feature just like that, where you can just have the window down and scroll the feed, I mean, I think it could go fucking crazy, bro, because like there's so many, you already know this, but like the community on Twitter and the comments and stuff are way better than any other platform. And so like if they had that live feature and stuff, like it would just, yeah. Anyways, what about you?
Yeah, that's exactly like my thought process with it, because this is the crazy thing. Twitter has like that functionality, although I've seen it mess up in the last couple of days. I saw it not work for someone, where you do the voice memos, right? And you can only do the voice memos from your phone and just put like that piece of audio up on your feed, and then it has your PFP and then like the little just ring bouncing around it, which I've used before. And when you click play on those, I believe like the length, you can do whatever length you want in terms of the recording, but it splits them up into new tweets and puts them down like a thread if they're like for each clip. I think it's like 1:20 or something is like the longest it will do. But
Wow.
it will, if you click play on the first one, it will auto play through them, and it will minimize into a little thing in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. This is on desktop. And then you can scroll. And I believe you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing on on the mobile app, which is crazy, because it would allow, this is my biggest thing, and I've been trying to work out with Moishi to do, is that we take Spaces clips and put them onto the feed like that, with that functionality, ideally with a customized like thumbnail or like even GIF or video to go with it.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
and then people would be able to listen like 5-10 minute Spaces clips on their feed and scroll Twitter while it's playing, like they would scroll Twitter listening to a live space. And my idea was that we could do that, clip Twitter Spaces, say like Frank's in Leap Space answering questions. He has a really good answer. We quickly clip it, put it up on Leap's highlight channel. Leap retweets it while he's live. People see that highlight, go, oh my God, Frank, like that's such a good take. I wonder what's going on in the space. They can click the profile and Leap is still live. Like, and Frank is still there because the spaces are long enough, and like the clip, like the shit on Twitter gets out there so quickly. I think that would work so well. But yeah, it takes some weird stuff with the API to actually get like allowed to do that. So we've been trying to figure it out. I think it might be possible, but I just wish Twitter would like allow it like naturally. It'd be so easy. It'd be so
it'd be so sick, dude. That would be so sick. Yeah, I mean, I've just thought about like so many times that I've screamed "We Are Riding" on a stage, and if like that clip was going while, I mean, what you just said, if that clip was going while we were on a on a space still, like, yeah, it would just be stupid, you know. It's kind of like when Tally did the Thread Guy, he was doing like the Thread Guy clips when Thread Guy was on his spaces, like those were going crazy. But imagine having that for me, having it for Frank, having it for Leap, anybody that's a big spacist person like that, like it would just absolutely dominate. That's like what obviously we talked last Friday, but like that's the type of shit like I want to have that going like all the time.
My dog's barking.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Obviously not while we're live, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I like it just takes too long to edit a clip like right now to get something out there. Like it's never going to be able to get out there while you're still live, which I think would be like the coolest feature of it. Like they had the clipping feature on Spaces. They had that, but I think they just like removed it for some reason. If they did that, but then it had like a custom UI that captured the space of the speakers, the reactions, the title, even the pin thing, and it just instantly formatted it and threw it onto the feed, and then had that feature where people could scroll. Like it'd be so good.
Yeah, let's fucking get into it, dude. Okay. We're about to fucking get it.
We're riding. Hype happy hour, talking about life, so you might feel empowered. Hype happy hour, tornado on the mic with a guest giving power. Hype happy hour, tools, interviews provide life tapping power. Hype happy hour, positive and light with advice, build your tower. Happiness is key, so you gotta bring the smiles out. Inspiration needs a bit of passion to just wild out. Positivity and optimism when we ride out. Enthusiasm and dreams, gotta feed them till your time's out.
Let's freaking ride, baby. Gentle Tornado here. I am your host on Hyped Happy Hour. This is episode 50. Listen, I created a company called Live Hyped. Hyped is an acronym that stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. And if you look down at the logo in the bottom left, you'll see it's an H with a heartbeat in the middle because we never know how many heartbeats we have. So here at Hyped, we are pushing positivity. We are pushing one life. We are pushing be a good person out here. Listen, on episode 50, I am joined by an absolute GOAT. This man is humble. He is just a kind person, works his ass off, creates incredible content. Pasta, how are you, dude?
Thanks for having me. What an intro. That was sick.
We're absolutely riding, dude. Listen, how we start is what we're grateful for. So what are you grateful for today?
Today, the heater I just found down in the garage because it's fucking cold down here in Australia. Temperature just switched. But no, also just, I'm living with family right now. So having them with me, everyone's healthy, everyone's good right now. I'm appreciative of that.
That is awesome, dude. What degrees is it in Australia?
Not even cold. It's just cold for me because it's always hot here. It's like, when I woke up, it was 15 Celsius, which is like, I don't know, Fahrenheit. It's probably like double that, or someone's like 30 or something. So maybe a little bit higher than that.
Is that the coldest it gets in Australia?
Where I am, it doesn't get too cold. So it'll get a little bit worse than this, but not in some spots it snows, but like,
wow,
rarely and not great. Like no one actually wants to ski here.
Have you ever been to New Zealand?
No, I want to go though because, yeah, bro, it's like that's like so different to Australia, even though it's so close. Like the terrain of it and everything, and the snow especially is like 10 times better. Pretty much everyone just goes there to ski or snowboard because of how much better it is. Even though it's available here, or Japan, because like it's like the same price. It costs so much to go here, and it's so bad. Like you might as well just pay the extra money. Like the flights to Japan are pretty cheap. It's just like, it ends up being pretty much the same price with like the ski passes and stuff like that. I want to go there too, but yeah.
So
there's an NFT event in Tokyo in like June.
Are you gonna go? Oh, you might go to Vegas.
Yeah, that will be the decision probably. I think Kid Core Beast are going to the Tokyo thing. I saw Rafs be talking about it at one point. I think that might be Alpha. My bad.
That would be wild. No, I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to Lord of the Rings land.
Yeah,
dude, that would be wild just to see that scenery.
A friend of mine just like came back, and I was seeing her post all the stuff on her Instagram, and like when she was there as well, and I'm just looking at it, it's like, what the, like, this doesn't even look real. Like this like scenic kind of hikes and shit that you can go on, like literally look like a movie. So it's sick.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Listen, we're here at Hyped Happy Hour. We bridge the gap between extraordinary people that I love and Web3 personalities. And we just get that, and we get personal life. And I want to learn about the person behind the account and the person in the journey. So Pasta, I want you to give me like a 2 to 5 minute origin story. Like, who's Pasta? Tell me about your childhood up to now, how you got into content, how you got into Web3. Tell me all about it.
Okay. So I grew up in Australia. And I was making content when I was really young, probably like 11 or 12, making like Minecraft videos and stuff like that, just recording with like Fraps and on like a really bad, I think it was on my like mum's old MacBook Pro, or like not even a Pro, it was really bad. And yeah, I was like uploading those to YouTube using like Audacity. to record the audio. That was really fun. I think I even like pitched down my voice in Audacity so I didn't sound like so high pitched so people wouldn't make fun of me at the time, because like YouTube and like making content, gaming, full stop, was not cool at all. And so that was a little bit rough. But yeah, I've been making content like randomly for probably, which is crazy to say, like over a decade now. Not like professionally or anything like that, but just for fun, because it was always just like, I don't know, it was cool to capture stuff and just to create stories and all that sort of thing. I've always been into gaming, so like recording gameplay and stuff like that has always been like really fun for me. I remember like there's a random thought. I remember I wanted Mortal Kombat 10 and I couldn't afford it. So I learned how to make 3D intros. So I learned Cinema 4D and After Effects. I downloaded like a bunch of torrent plugins and I learned how to make intros. And I sold them to like 3 or 4 people for like $10-15 a pop. And then I just bought Mortal Kombat and I just like gave up intros. Like I got good at it and I just stopped. Like I learned all of that for like a week straight just to afford this game that cost like $40. I played the shit out of that, but like anyway, yeah. So like I've done a lot of stuff like that. I pretty much like anything visual or audio I've done. As I got older, I got into like audio engineering and like producing and stuff like that, which is what I did like recently before I came into NFTs. I was going to uni for it. I did some like live event stuff. I was making beats online, selling beats, like engineering for people, like doing that as a kind of a hobby, but also like selling services for that, recording with my friends and all that sort of thing. I used to do just a bunch of stuff though. Like I've done DJing, I've done fucking everything, like either whether it's related to visual stuff or audio, like 3D or like After Effects or just Premiere or Photoshop or Illustrator, like literally everything. Which is like kind of, I think I was telling you this the other day, it's like jack of all trades, master of none type thing, but it's actually kind of useful in Web3 because just being multifaceted helps, and just it's a good for creativity, because it's like I need to do something, it's like I can figure out how to do it quite quickly because I just understand all these different like all these different tools, like even just like basics of them is super helpful. I suggest anyone to like actually go out and learn like the main Adobe suite if you just want to like, I don't know, learn how to just learn a little bit of everything. Like last night, even I just did like a quick mock-up Photoshop of a banner for one of my friends for a Spaces show, because you know, or like my friends will still DM me to this day, hey, can you change the date on this doctor's certificate for work? And I say no, because that would be illegal.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I'm 22 now, so I actually, back to roll back a little bit, I guess. I actually dropped out of high school, like maybe 6-9 months out from finishing, because I just hated it so much. I didn't see a point in doing it. And I dropped out of that and enrolled in like a nearby kind of art school and did a diploma of music production to start with. I was meant to do that for 12 months, but they accidentally put me on the 7-month term because I was too young. And yeah, they accidentally put me on the short one. So I did that in 7 months, finished that. And I was like, okay, what do I do now? I then moved to Sydney in Australia, obviously, and started looking at a bunch of different studios to try get internships. I had like a spreadsheet with like 40 studios and like different places where they're just doing engineering and stuff. I applied to all of them. I called, emailed a million times. I spent like 2 months trying to get an internship and I couldn't get one absolutely anywhere. The closest I got was like maybe an on the phone interview or something like that, because they all wanted like experience. So it was kind of like have an internship to get an internship, and to get an internship, you need an internship. So it just didn't make sense to me. It was like, unless I know someone, I'm just fucked. So
yeah.
I was kind of stuck at that point, and that's when I got into like the live audio stuff and just working in like setting up live gear and DJ stuff, and because I'd done that before. I did that for a while, and then I started a Bachelor of Music at a university in Sydney. I did a year of that, And then NFTs came and I got way too interested in that. I ended up deferring for 6 months, then another 6 months, and now I just haven't responded. So they'll just like kick me out of that course probably. Because I just like I was only doing it. I shouldn't say why I was only doing it, but I was only doing it for like other reasons. I didn't really care that much because I knew if I wanted to do music full time, like I didn't need a bachelor to do it. I could do it regardless. I wasn't learning a lot. I already knew a lot of the stuff that I was like in class and stuff. It was boring and it just wasn't helpful. But yeah, then got into NFTs. A year and a half later, 2 years later, wherever we are now, we're here and we're back to doing video content kind of. I still try to mix in some music stuff and like I'll use techniques here and there. Like in my nouns video I did like a week ago, I made well, that beat was already made, but it was my beat that I used in the video. And I just try to like include interesting stuff like that because it's kind of unique and makes the videos more personal to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that comes back to just like utilizing every facet of like creative stuff just to make things interesting.
No, I love that. There's a few things. So I love that you started at an early age. Like I feel like most content creators that are like true content creators started at a very young age doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then I also like, how did you get into NFTs? Like, you just found it randomly or you were into crypto or something?
I've been in crypto for like, I was in crypto for a couple years before NFTs, maybe like 2019 or like 2018, like kind of late. And I just like fucked around with it a little bit. I didn't have much money, so I never like made anything crazy, and I wasn't that deep in it where I was like trading shit coins or anything like that. I did like try doing futures and like leverage trading for a couple months, and I never spent a lot of money, but I was just trying to learn it really hard. And then I realized it's like, I don't enjoy this. I don't want to do this 12 hours a day. Even if I can make a ton of money, it's just not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
So I was in crypto and I was like kind of interested in the idea. And because of the time that I grew up and the interests I had with gaming and content, of course, I followed FaZe. And like, that was like the dream for me when I was a kid, like 12 years old to 15, probably, that I would to join FaZe, whether it was FaZe 5 or whatever the case was. And so, of course, I followed FaZe Banks on Instagram. And so that was probably my first like introduction to NFTs, was him talking about it on his Instagram stories, which I think is a case for a lot of people. So it was him. And then like, maybe some Gary Vee stuff. And that was probably around June, July of 2021. But I saw it and I didn't really understand it at first. Even though I was in crypto, I would fall in and out of like love for crypto. I would get really into it for a couple months and then I'd pull back, and I would always pull back when the money started coming in, and I would just like, I'd lose all interest and then it would go up and then I'd like kind of get more interested in it. And it just was like a cycle like that.
The clip of FaZe Banks saying, and he's on a podcast or something, saying like, I don't have any floor shit, where he sits back, he's sitting behind the chair. Have you seen that? Where he's like,
yeah.
He's like, I don't have any floor. That is iconic, to be honest, in this space. Like my boys that weren't even in this space sent it to me when it was early stages, like whatever, 2 years ago. They sent me that clip. They were like, this has got to be you. And I was like, no, I don't have any heat. But like, yes, this clip is iconic.
Yeah, I think I forget what it was specifically, but I remember like just it kind of clicking in my head what NFTs were and like the idea of them and the whole point of it, and this like whole culmination of all these different creativity aspects that I grew up on. And so it interested me really like just a ton. And I saw Banks, I think it was, I might be getting the name wrong, but it was this bear one. I'm thinking Plasma Bears, but that was way late. Maybe that's it. It might have been Plasma Bears. I think that was what it was called. It was these weird bears that you could buy, NFTs obviously, and they had like different parts to them, like the leg and the head and the torso and stuff. If that's not Plasma Bears, whatever the name of that one is. That was the first one I got interested in because I remember him talking about it and then just like how much price had gone up. And my instant thought was just like, wait, couldn't I just like look at his wallet, see what he buys before he posts it on his Instagram story and then just make a ton of money? So I then started tracking that and just having a look what was going on. I didn't spend any money at first. And then, yeah, I was tracking that. And then I started looking at like different YouTube videos about NFTs, which was like very bare at the time. It was basically like just Brett. Malinowski. If you know him, he does like AI based videos mainly now. And I started watching him and then met a bunch of people in like that Discord and then started tracking their wallets just to learn more. Yeah, long story short, that's
That's wild, dude. No, that's a fun journey. I mean, yeah, we all came in at so many different places, and I think like it's amazing that we've made it through the bear, and you just almost feel like unstoppable. Like honestly, I love the bear. Like I think this is where some of the best connections have been made. I mean, me and you have probably been here the same amount of time, and I literally didn't even know you. I was like, how does this even happen? We've been here for this long, and both of us are super probably on the app 12 hours a day. And it's like, I didn't know who you were. And I'm like, but now like we've had this connection because of the bear. And it's like, I've had so many connections through the bear market that have literally just, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. The bear's like way more fun. I feel like you can almost like trust people a little more. You still got to be wary, but it's like, if you are talking to someone, there's a better chance they're here for legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
And it's like, the time has come and gone almost to leave if you want to leave. Like if you're still here, you're at least more serious about it. And it's usually like not just a money thing. Or if it is, you're more serious about it than just like flipping pitches, because obviously that's like all you really needed to do to get by in the past. Where now I think it's just more interesting. Like New York even was a really interesting experience because I went to New York the first time, and like people like thinking like, oh, it's going to be like way worse this year. No one has as much money. There's way less people, but it doesn't matter. Like maybe there were like 40 events a day last time, but it's like, who can go to 40 events? No one can even go to 5. So like having 20 events or 10 events a day, but they're just more compacted with more value instead of just spread out with a bunch of nonsense going on. It was better. Like I enjoyed it more for that fact, because it's like everywhere I went, there was people that I knew from spaces on just the timeline, different community members. I met so many people that either watched my videos or like I knew that I like followed their threads or content, whatever the case was. Founders and stuff. Founders especially, like the founders last time, it was so hard to talk to certain people because they were just surrounded by people. This time it felt more like close knit, and it was like, I'll just talk to anyone. We'll all just get together. We'll just like chat about the space because there's a lot more chill, and it's like people care a lot more. So it's, I don't know, it was a completely different vibe, and I enjoyed it a lot more.
No, I agree with you. I loved this year's for sure. And like you said, the events, then you can't go to fucking 40 events a day. So I absolutely love that. All right. So what we do is we go through every single word in Hyped, and I ask you different questions, and we talk about the different things and the values within Hyped. So before we start happiness, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to read you my favorite definition of success. It was by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It says, what is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
Bars.
What do you think? How do you feel about that?
I've never heard that. That's interesting. I definitely agree with that. It's the thing. It's like, well, yeah, just a lot of people these days, I think, definitely look at success as just like, it's just money. That's like the obvious conclusion. And I think like that can make your life a lot easier. I think that's what a lot of us are here for, to try get. But I think a lot of us at the same time realize that it's not everything. And it's like, if you dilute everything else in your life to achieve that, like money as the goal, it's like by the end of it, it's like, what was the point? Because you can't buy a lot of those things. The idea is to get money while not destroying everything else in your life. If you can do that, then you kind of win, in my opinion, because it then buys you the time, you know, to do anything else you want. It's like people say like money isn't everything, but then people, you know, trade a third of their life working for it and spending time with people they don't care about. So it's kind of like, it is important, but it's not everything.
Exactly, dude. And I think one true belief that I have is that happiness drives success. And when you're truly happy, whether you may not even like your job, but if you're truly happy and grateful in your life, that can drive success. And literally my old job was almost proof of that, where I literally hated my job for 9 years, but I was very successful because I had to basically trick my mind to be grateful and happy with my life, right? Like I had my kids, my wife, I was waking up every day, my family was healthy. And those things, because I was so happy and because I had this energy that was contagious, like boosted my sales, and it was all success from there. And then it came to a point now where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to like actually go do something that I at least want to go do and see if it works.
Yeah, no, it's just like the energy you put out. It's what you get back. It's just so the truth, like so much of the truth. I remember, I think it was a space I was in like 3 weeks ago, or like a month ago maybe. And this girl Zintani, actually shout out her. I think she left Twitter. I don't know what's going on with her. I wish she'd come back. But she was in a space and we were talking about TikTok and how like your kind of underlying thoughts are what are presented on the timeline when you're swiping, because you're like passively telling the app what you want to see. And so it's like what's the word for it, where what you're thinking becomes like a reality. Like I'm forgetting the word, but basically the idea
manifesting
is,
it.
Yeah, you're manifesting it.
Yeah.
But like TikTok is like an actual physical form of your manifestation, because if you're thinking happy thoughts and you're thinking motivational, that's what you start to see. And it actually physically comes into your life through an app like TikTok, which is kind of crazy, because it's like, I don't even like TikTok. I think it's like pretty harmful, but
Yeah,
still it's really interesting. It's like something as simple as that kind of registered with me. It's like this manifestation is actually becoming a reality through an app like this, because now I'm thinking happy thoughts. I'm trying to be positive. I'm thinking like motivation. I'm all these different things. And I'm now physically seeing it on TikTok, and that's like resonating in other parts of my life. And it's just making like everything overall better. But if I'm thinking dark things and I'm thinking down, I'm thinking, oh, why is this happening to me? I'm always like blaming other people and all that sort of stuff. And I'm viewing that type of content. It's like this TikTok thing can be actually kind of helpful in ways, but can also be just like, it's like 10x more helpful or 10x more damaging. Because if it's just gonna make everything worse or better, in my opinion, in terms of like your headspace. So it's really interesting, because I've talked to people where it's like, all I see on TikTok is motivational stuff, and it's actually helpful. I get on there 15 minutes, I'll see quotes, I'll download stuff, I'll save certain clips. I posted one on Twitter the other day of a clip between I'm forgetting the names right now, but I posted it on Twitter because I thought it was really good and like people needed to hear it. And it was just about accepting like where you are right now, and like everything just being perfect. This idea of where you are, who you are is perfect, even if you're a terrible person, even if you're in a great spot, it's perfect, and it's the way it should be. And like, you got to grow and learn from that. But yeah, man, it's interesting. I've probably in the last like year or something, I've tried, like, I've actually put time and actual effort into reminding myself to kind of keep those values and like remember that it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to the point that you said, my mind goes to that it's like 100x bad and it's like 10x good, because and this is not just TikTok, this is everywhere in our world. But for example, like I wrote a thread today on mental health and on positivity and gratitude, and there was another thread written about a drama about Blur and their new announcement they came out with. That thread did at least 5 times the number. It probably did more than 5 times the number that my thread did, when actually in reality, not just because it's me, but my thread needed to get more noise. 1, because Mental Health Awareness Month, but 2, because it's what's needed in the world. But that's not what gets put on a pedestal. And so it's kind of crazy that you said that, because like I have an announcement coming out hopefully this week that is going to kind of prove that like you can build a brand being a good person, doing the right thing, preaching positivity, kindness, and still succeed and still like achieve your dreams. And like, but it's not pretty, right? Like my account doesn't have 100,000 followers. Like I don't get crazy engagement because of what I'm doing and what I'm preaching. And The Losada effect is that it's 3 positive emotions to 1 negative emotion to conquer negativity. And like when you think about that, it is fucking crazy, because if you look at our whole world, any country, anywhere, the news, it's so bad around our world that it's like, yeah, like that's why people default to it, because it's everywhere. It's in their face, and it's in their face 3 times more than a positive thing. And it's like if the news, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but if the news, like for example in the US, is like if we just put one good thing on the news, maybe every day, it could change someone's life. It could change their mindset. And I think our focus is on the wrong things. And it's what's crazy about positivity is why I love positivity is because toxic positivity is bad, right? Like not everything is rainbows and butterflies, but positivity itself and focusing on glass half full or your positive mindset where there's always a good in every situation. And that's when you have the reality check where it's like, yeah, not everything is great, but you can still focus on good, right? And so I think that's what's so important, especially about social media, is like it exposes the negativity.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Let's get into happiness. That was a long rant, but I felt like it was on my brand. So no, I love it. I love it. That's gonna be, honestly, I was thinking while you were talking, I was thinking about the clip. The first question under happiness is what makes you happy every single day? Maybe a few things.
Probably where I'm living right now helps, because I was living with, oh my god, do you hear?
That's okay. Don't worry about
yeah,
it.
living with, well, no, that was part of the point. Living with my dog, his name's Frank. That's my Labrador, not my founder. He's good, and yeah, no, I'm living with my dad and my brother right now, and so that's good. I enjoy that, and like I wasn't for like a few years. I was living with friends, which was great too. But it's just interesting. It's good to be back here because like I won't be here forever, and this isn't going to be an option forever. So like that makes me happy for sure.
That's awesome. No, I think it's a great, I mean, the fact that you're leaning into it too is absolutely, it's honestly is beautiful. Like the way that I love that, dude. I love that you're doing that to take the next step or to enjoy the moment. And yeah, I love it. So far, so I know you're young, so this question is gonna be a little bit different for you. But so far in your life, what has been the happiest moment? One moment.
Probably two. That's actually really hard. I can't think of one specifically. I think like,
You can give me a few. It's fine.
yeah, I mean, doing stuff with like my friends has always been a really good thing. Like last time I went to New York, I went with 3 friends, and that was really fun. Being able to experience that all together for the first time. None of us had been to America before, especially like New York is like so different to where we're from. In the recently, like a year ago as well, almost a year ago, me and my brother actually like gifted Frank the Labrador to my dad. That was like a present that we gave him, which was fucking expensive. He cost so much. Because he came from like just 20 minutes down the road where we got him, and that was pretty special. Yeah, I think
walk me
something
through
like that.
Walk me through the moment when you gave your dad the dog. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I wasn't living here at the time, so we had planned it for a couple months, because like 6 months before that, our past Labrador, his name's Chino, passed away, and he was like 14, 15. He was like long life, so it's good, and that was tough because he'd been with us for so long. And so me and my brother had been talking about it, and potentially getting a new dog for dad. It was like kind of, that was like something on our priority list. So we we were researching and trying to find a good option. And yeah, my brother went and like saw Frank as like a puppy, like with the, you know, like kind of go meet them and stuff because it's close by, like FaceTime me while we were there and all that sort of stuff. And then we planned it that I would come up to visit, but just as a surprise. So my dad didn't know I was going to be here, let alone the dog.
Yeah.
So I actually like filmed it as well in this room, just literally right there. I've got the recording of it, and my brother is just waiting for my dad to get home from work, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's my name. Man's room is like leaking again, like the window or something like that was like," and he's like, "Oh for fuck's sake!" Like comes in, and then I've just got the fucking dog, and he's like, because he's like this big, and I'm just like holding him up, and yeah, he's just like completely so shocked, not only that I was there, but then like had the dog, and it's like had all these like toys for him and everything. So that was good. Like I came in the morning, we went to the pet store, all that sort of stuff. Like it was like a whole day to get everything like sorted and like going to pick him up and everything. He loves barking just constantly. I can't.
That's so awesome, dude. That's so awesome. That's amazing that you have that clip. I literally love the advancement in technology is like unbelievable, especially like me now having kids and shit. Like, dude, I try to capture everything on camera because like I just want to look back and just be able to watch anything I want, you know, with my kids is something that I do not take for granted. And I'm so grateful for. I mean, literally yesterday we had my wife's grandparents. So my kids' great grandparents came over. They're fucking incredible. They're like a light in our life. They're the two of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And they're like 80, dude. And they're down on the ground looking at roly-polies, like getting roly-polies with my kids. And it's like, I got photos, I got a video. It's like, that's a moment that I was able to send them and we're going to have that forever. And it's like that type of stuff is so incredible. Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it. Okay. Listen, the last question, and I already know one of them, but I want to hear maybe a few. What are some top communities that you enjoy in the space?
Well, yeah, obviously Utes has been fun for me. Because when I decided to get in, I wasn't enjoying the space that much, and I was like in probably a pretty one of the worst spots that I've been in terms of like my outlook on the space. So that was like a pretty big thing for me to get into like a new community for the first time in a long time and like experience that and meeting just a bunch of new people. But I'm friends with people from all over the place in this space, whether it's like sappies and stuff like that. And I think that's definitely been like one of the best ones to interact with. I think like everyone, it's interesting. It's like most people I meet in the space, I don't know if it's just like my circle, but people talk about like so much negativity in the space of like people just being like rude and stuff. And I definitely come across that and I see it, but it's like, I don't know whether it's the people that I've surrounded myself with or like, again, like what I'm putting out there, but I don't even notice it that much. It's like, maybe I'm just ignoring it at this point and I just choose to see the good stuff. But it's like whether I'm interacting with people from Pudgy or Sappy or just like even now like Azuki's and stuff, we've been doing all these like community led spaces that Smokey's running and stuff. It's like, it's like a lot of these communities that have held really strong in this bear market. I think like there's a reason they exist still, and it's like it's pretty obvious.
No, I love that. I didn't get to meet Smokey in New York. I don't even know how. That was like super depressing, but I love what he's doing and what everybody's doing with the community spaces. I think it's absolutely electric, like lifting other people up. Did you mentor you or did you have to buy secondary? Were you on the list?
No, so I actually got. So when did they mint? Like September or something like around
December, I think, because of the delay. I think it was like
December?
December. Yeah.
No, they revealed December, I think.
Oh shit. Okay.
The mint was months before that because they delayed.
Oh, I remember the delay. Yeah. So we probably minted. You're right. Probably in September. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got Ute list because I assume this is the reason, because I made a video about Utes at the time. I was making videos kind of on and off. It was like a weird point with my channel, and I was doing live streams actually, and I took a clip from a live stream where it was like 10 minutes of me going through that white paper copyright thing for the Utes that they put out originally, and I thought it was really cool. I didn't know like anything about Frank or DeGods really at all, because I was more on the ETH side. I thought the art was sick and everything like that, so I made the video kind of talking about how I thought it was going to be pretty cool. And so they gave me Ute List, and yeah, I minted it, and then I ended up selling it way before the reveal because I needed the money at the time. So I sold it to a friend actually, and then I just like kind of went on with what I was doing at this time. That was like leading into a spot where I wasn't super happy with the space, so I wasn't like planning on like being a part of a community that hardcore and spending a ton of time in it. So I don't know how much I sold it for, but when I bought back in I don't know, December or January, probably January, I think I spent more than what I like sold the mint for, because I did buy like 50 soul above floor to get my specific one, because I wanted one that like looked unique, because I knew I was going to make it my brand. So yeah, it was interesting. Like, and then it was weird as well. There's actually a whole story of like how I got the Ute that I got, because it was off a bid, and it was like sheer luck, like so stars aligned for me to get it. And then I ended up meeting the person that minted it as well, which is interesting.
Wow. That's fucking wild. Yeah, that's cool. No, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah. Utes is dope too. I minted one, but I don't have my Ute anymore. I don't think I've ever had an NFT photo. It's never been my PFP. It's always been me. Or like I might have had a VFriend one like early on, but it was never good. The art that I really fucked with was the rare A Pepes. I liked that art a lot, dude. I was like, this art is fire. Like I liked that art better than Bored Apes by 10x, and that was a pretty funny time. But anyways, let's move on. We're gonna move on to inspiration. I love inspiration because we got one life, so I'm all about just if I can inspire anybody in any way to just live their life better, like that's my goal. What is one lesson in your life that you've had to learn the hard way?
Probably like just putting trust in other people, which is a tough lesson, because it's hard to judge when you should do it or when you shouldn't. And I've had the experience of putting too much trust in people, and I've had the experience of not putting enough and then making the mistakes and then learning the hard way. Whether it comes to money or just like business stuff, that's usually where that happens. Yeah, I still haven't really figured it out in terms of like what kind of how to judge these certain moments and how to step back and realize like the situation you're in, from like and just like think a little bit outside of my head. It's like try see this from other angles. It's difficult.
Yeah,
and just like not having a lot of experience in business and stuff.
It's hard, dude. Listen, I'm 29 and that's my worst trait. My worst trait worst and best trait is trusting a lot of people and giving that trust and then just being absolutely fucked. But it's just, you just learn every time, and you probably just learn, you'll learn through experience. That's how I've learned. And, whatever, you lose money here and there, but you'll learn. And like a lot of times I just go with my gut now, and there's other stuff obviously, but no, I totally resonate with that as literally one of my worst things. My wife always is like, you can't trust these people. Like I literally won't add someone in my phone from Web3 unless I have their name. Like if someone's not willing to give me their name, like, cause my wife will be like, who the fuck is that? Like you can't have, who's Pasta? Like he's not, no, she just automatically thinks it's a woman. I'm like, no, he's not. but that's why I have to have the names. Yeah, literally. I have to. So
that's kind of a good rule actually.
I mean, I was like, if you're not going to, like, I don't know. Like, if you're not going to tell me your name, like, I'm not going to, I don't know. I'm not going to trust you for sure. It's not like I'm going to go, I mean, at the same time on the counter, I guess, like, am I going to go fucking tell everybody their name? Like, I mean, no, but good, I love that question though, because it creates just like so many different things. We've had so many different answers on the show. What about Web3 inspires you want to be here every day?
I think one of the most interesting things is like just like people working hard and then just like getting the opportunities they deserve a lot of the times. It's not always the case. Like I see people that maybe think they're working hard or do work hard and things just don't go their way. But then I see a lot of the times where it's like these like really either talented people or ideally people that maybe aren't even that talented, but just work really hard, make it happen. And I feel like this space kind of gives those people the opportunity to do that. Like it's weird. It's like almost like if you have nothing, you can almost come into this space and work your way up. Like,
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's not like complicated. It's not impossible, and you don't need like a degree. You don't need to be from a certain country. Like the way that, for example, like me being in Australia is not ideal for a lot of scenarios. Like it costs a lot for me to travel to live events and stuff like that. There's a lot of Australians in NFTs, but I'm no different to anyone around the world when it comes to just doing stuff online. There is no difference to where I am.
Yeah.
And I think like an industry that gives that much opportunity to literally anyone, like it lowers the barrier to entry, I think is a really big deal. I think that's pretty cool because it's inspiring because like we ideally will get the best people for the job and we'll see the best results across the board because we're literally letting anyone play.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think, yeah, the point that you just made is absolutely so incredible. And the access, like what other space, in what other genre of business or whatever, like, am I going to be able to have AJ Vaynerchuk on my podcast? Like, it would probably take years of, I was running a business, but it wasn't like a notable business in the business world. And so, yeah, like that's just still mind blowing to me. And that opportunity is like, yeah, you could literally come into the space. You could start being, let's like say you were a volunteer mod or something in a Discord, work your way up, probably be a community manager. You could probably make $1,000 a week. Like probably, honestly, not even working that much, like maybe 20, 30 hours. And so it's like, normally you would have to work like a lot of, 50 to make like, let's say $2,000 a week. You'd probably have to work at least 60 hours a week, normal, like that, a very successful job. And so it's like, yeah, I love that the playing field's level and you find out real fast, right? Who's full of shit. Like if you give that person an opportunity, you're going to find out if they're full of shit. If you're going to find out if they can handle it. And it's that opportunity that drives people to want to work harder, right? Because as you reward people and build them up, they want to work harder. They want that. And a lot of things, like especially on Twitter, the recognition, the dopamine hits, like people love that. And that just builds all of that. So I absolutely agree with that. I mean, the fact that you're 22, I'd be fucking crazy. I thought you were way older than 22, but it's amazing. You're fucking young as fuck. Holy shit. 22. I had my first kid when I was your age. Like 23. Fuck. I don't even remember, to be honest. Oh, shit. It's bad. It's bad. Don't grow old. Okay. Pause. No, I'm just kidding. I'm super young too.
Gary actually followed me the other day for some reason.
Let's go.
Randomly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I wish you were a VCon, dude. I shouldn't even said that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know it hurts. Who is someone in your life who's an inspirational leader, who's someone you've looked up to throughout your life?
I've kind of always looked at like people I don't know for that. I feel like either people doing like jobs that I wish I could be doing, so whether it's different like YouTubers, or I think someone recently would definitely be like Adesanya, like the UFC fighter with the recent win that he had. Like I've been following him for a while, and so watching all these YouTube videos and like keeping up to date on how he was going with that was like crazy inspiring to see. Like I remember the day I was sitting here watching him lose that first fight, like a few months ago, and like how I felt watching that, because I cared so much. like I'm so nervous watching like him fight and stuff. I don't even have money like on it. Like it's crazy how much I care about it.
Yeah.
And like I like UFC a lot. I've been a fan for a few years. I'm not crazy into it, but I really like him. But that arc of him coming back from that and winning the way he did, like, bro.
Like, first of all, you probably didn't know this. I'm the biggest UFC fan. It's the only sport I watch. I haven't been watching it for long since COVID. Since COVID, I started watching UFC with my wife. My wife literally hated fighting before COVID. We started watching it together. We love it. It's like the one thing we get to bond. Like at night when the kids are asleep, we watch UFC, dude. And Israel Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski were my favorite two fighters.
Same.
And I remember how I felt, just like you said, when he fucking lost. I was so upset. And then, but before that, I took me and my wife. We went and saw him fight Jared Cannonier and Alex fight Max Holloway in Vegas. It was crazy, dude.
Wow.
The best event I've ever been to in my life. The energy, Pasta, was, think about any NFT event. I don't even know what you've done in your life, but think about any NFT event.
I went to a
energy times
Yankees
100.
game. I went to a Yankees game last time I was in New York, and they got a walk-off home run, which was probably the most
sick.
energy, like crazy thing I've seen. And American sports events are different to here, bro. They're different.
Bro, think about that times 100. And it wasn't even that serious, like of a fight. Like, yeah, he's fighting Jared Cannonier. Alex was fighting Max. That was a big fight.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I have goosebumps talking about it. And then, dude, when Izzy just fought, and I was my wife was putting the kids to bed. It was me and my brother-in-law, and we were downstairs. The whole house is dark. My anxiety is through the fucking roof, dude. I'm like, I need him to win, dude. I feel like he's gonna win. And when he knocked him out, dude, me and my brother-in-law jumped in the air, dude, and we hugged, but we couldn't be loud. So we were like, screaming, dude. It was like one of the best moments. I started running around my house, dude. It was the best, dude. I was like, let's go.
Oh, that's sick,
yeah.
bro.
You have to go if they go back to Australia, because they were just there.
They will. It's pretty much confirmed they're going to be doing an event in Sydney. They were in Perth, and Perth is basically like New York to LA for me. So the flight alone was like $600, $700, and then the tickets, obviously accommodation. Sydney's easy. It's if I try to buy a flight to Sydney in a week in advance now, it's like $80 return because it's like an hour flight, and I have friends down there to stay with and all of that. So Izzy's meant to be fighting whoever wins Robert versus Duplessis in early July International Fight Week. Whoever wins that fight, Whittaker versus Duplessis. If Whittaker wins, which he probably will, then he'll fight Izzy for the third time in Sydney, which is like the first event in Sydney in like so long. It's gonna be nuts.
Is Robert from Sydney? He's from Australia.
No, he was actually born in New Zealand. I think he moved to Australia when he was 7, but he claims Australia as like his nationality and like who he is, because he doesn't really remember New Zealand, I think. Where Izzy, it's like literally Nigeria and then to New Zealand. Now he claims New Zealand mainly. So yeah, Rob just New Zealand to Australia. So he lives just like west of Sydney, I think. Like Volkanovski lives in Sydney. And he grew up like 4 hours south of me where I am right now. It's crazy. Like, yeah, both of them are just the best. I really, really, really wanted to see Alex fight Islam in Perth, but it was too expensive. So
yeah. And this is recorded, but he won that fight, so we all know it. So it's okay. Anyways, let's what the final question under inspiration is: what is your favorite inspirational movie?
Oh, fuck. I actually haven't watched many movies recently. I've been trying to catch up on ones that like, when I say I haven't watched it, someone's like, what the fuck? You haven't watched that type thing? Because I hate when people do that. And it's so annoying. If I say any of them right now, I'm probably going to get that response from you. Because I haven't seen so many like amazing movies that like everyone's seen.
Give me like 3 that you haven't seen, and I'll judge you in a different way. I probably won't judge you. I just want you to watch them.
Rocky.
Okay, that's not too bad. Honestly, you're pretty young compared to when Rocky was made. So
Yeah. Yeah, I need to watch Creed as well. That's on my other list. I need to watch Truman Show. I want to watch Pianist.
Okay.
Detachment, I think. There's a bunch. Like I haven't seen a bunch of Quentin Tarantino movies. But anyway, one's that inspiration. I heard there's a D-Gods documentary coming out, so that could be there's a Conor McGregor movie coming out in like a month, I think. So that'll be
Oh shit,
that'll
is
be
there really?
inspirational. Yeah, I think it shows all the behind the scenes stuff of him like breaking his leg and whatever he did recently against Poirier, whatever his name is. I can't even think of many right now. Like, I mean, movies are not real. So it's like I try to take inspiration from things that are real and are tangible, like obtainable. Because it's like if it's in a movie, it's kind of like I don't even see that as like a possible thing. Like if I'm watching Good Will Hunting, like I don't take much inspiration from that because I'm not that smart. I can't become that smart.
Have
Like,
you ever seen Remember the Titans?
I don't think so.
You probably need to watch that. That'll probably that might make you want to run through a brick wall more than me screaming "We Are Riding." So yeah, it absolutely will. So
Yeah.
if I'm going to give you
Okay.
one movie reco, it's going to be two. Actually, I'll give you two. Night at the Roxbury, not inspirational. One of the funniest movies ever made. It's my favorite movie. And Remember the Titans. If you watch those two movies, and then just report back to me, and you'll be.
I'll put them on the list.
We're riding.
Okay.
Okay, let's move into positivity. So obviously I'm pushing P. I'm making positivity louder. That's my mission. I'm absolutely not stopping. Positivity, and when we talk about it, this is such a simple segment because positive mindset in its most generic form is just focusing on the good in any situation. So can you tell me about how having a positive mindset has helped you through your life? Maybe you've had a struggle with positivity. Can you tell me about like your positive mindset journey?
Yeah, for sure. The last few months have been big because it was kind of like it felt like almost starting at zero, compared to just like, yeah, it's complicated. But with the NFT space, because like I was doing YouTube from like November of 2021, pretty much consistently till like April of 2022, like either every day or pretty much. And that was working really well. And then the space obviously changed a lot. And I need to pivot my own goals and what I was doing because I've had to, like in the last year, I've had to pivot more and more, like more frequently, but also more, I can't think of the right word, but like hardcore than ever in my life. With just different things that I'm building and stuff. And yeah, in the last like 6 months, probably, or 3 to 6 months, it's like just knowing that if I continue to do the right thing and I continue to like work hard and just have a positive outlook on things, things will eventually turn around and like come my way. With like different goals that I have, whether it's money or like whatever the case is. Yeah, if I didn't, like, there was a million times I could have just been like, fuck it, like this is too hard. I'm just gonna go back to uni, type thing. Or like here in Australia, for example, like they create a pretty easy fallback for you if you want. Like you can go to uni and get this kind of government benefit called Centrelink, and you can basically live off that and just do uni and just like coast if you want. For the years that you're in university, they'll just pay for you, not pay you university. That will get put onto like a debt that you need to pay later back in your life. But it will pay for you in terms of like necessities to live. If you want to live frugally, which is what I did for a while and was just like living off that money and didn't even need like a secondary job. And like, so you can have that fallback if you want. Like pretty much anyone in Australia can do that, which is like kind of odd. It's like almost a weird safety net that the entire country has, which is very different to the US, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, Yeah, unless you're not born here. Otherwise, then they treat you like you don't fucking like belong. It's fucked. But and you can't get any of those benefits. It's stupid. But you kind of left to the wolves in that case. But yeah, having like a fallback like that constantly is kind of odd. And being able to just like throw the towel in at any point and say, oh, you know what, like this isn't working out, I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, so like keeping a positive mindset that things are gonna work out, and just not even like having that thought cross my mind where it's kind of like I'm not even gonna think about like the downside, or like what could go wrong, or like what if, all these different what ifs and stuff that aren't even gonna happen, like that aren't even gonna come true. It's like fucking just like, but like, yeah, it's interesting. And it's like, yeah,
No, I love that. I love that. You can't. I'm honestly, I'm happy for you that you've started to figure this out at an early age, because one, there's so many things in your life that you just literally can't control, like that are going to happen to you. And two, if you were to focus on let's say failing or not doing well, like that's your focus, right? When you tell someone, this is the best example I can give to somebody. When you tell someone, don't forget to grab that, well, it could be anything, right? Or don't forget anything. Let's plug in any word. The focus is forget. So you say, remember to grab that. Then they're remembering to grab that. And so it's such a simple shift in your, in just your verbiage, but also in how the person receives that. It's like, what you're focusing on is what you get. Like, I'll never forget, when I left my job, like I worked for my dad for 9 years, and he looked, when the last couple of weeks I was there, he was like, I'm not gonna be able to help you when you leave. Like, he was worried, and I love him so much for that, because he's this best fucking dad in the world. But I just looked at him and I said, Dad, like, I know this is a risk, dude, but I literally can't focus on that. Like, that is not even in my mind. Like, failure is not even in my mind. Even if it were to happen, it's literally, I would never think about that. My only focus is going out and doing my mission and what I'm planning to do. And like, just that every day. And if I fade, I just boom, right back to that. What's my mission? What am I doing? What are my goals? Boom, 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 boom. It's because like some people think that writing down your goals is silly, but just write them down, because then you can always go back to them. And then you've written them down, you're thinking about them. And the best thing that I tell people is like, tell everyone. Who fucking cares? Like, tell everybody that you want 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And they might think you're fucking crazy, but then you work your ass off, you get connections. There's so many different ways you can do it. And it's like, that's how I've always been. It's like, dream fucking big as fuck and tell everyone about it, and then do work.
That I saw this, I think it was like I was saying before, like the TikTok stuff with motivation, all that sort of stuff. That's what my TikTok has turned into, which is good. And I saw this thing the other day where it was just like a graph. Like it was just some taken from somewhere. And it basically said like, I think the top part said like, do you have a problem or something? And it's like, if you answer no, then it's like, why worry? And then it's like, if you answer yes, it's like, can you do anything about it? Then why worry? If you can't do anything about it, or can I do anything about it? No, then why worry? It's like,
bro, literally, this is wild. My Instagram bio, I'm pretty sure it's still to this day. I don't go on my personal Instagram ever. It says, will worrying help? That's literally what my bio says, because it's like, it literally is the truth, bro. You could be like, this is the most extreme, but like, at one time when my son was, I think he was 1, he was choking on a cone, like a play cone. And like, I would say like most of the time I'm pretty calm. I fucking lost my mind. I was freaking out. My wife walked over super fucking calm, pulled the fucking thing right out. It was wild. And because I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but like, I couldn't worry about that. I had to focus, calm down, be in that moment. It's like, there's so many different ways that little statement can go everywhere in your life.
But yeah, bro. Like that's a massive thing for me, because like I'll just constantly be like anxious and worry about the unknown and like possibilities and stuff that's never going to happen. And like slowly over time, by just like realizing that I'm worrying, just not even the fact of fixing it, but just realizing it's happening, and then going and doing the thing and seeing the result and seeing that none of the things that I was worried about even happened.
Yeah.
it's slowly getting there. I'm still not good at it. Like I'm slowly getting to the point where it's like I just won't even fucking worry because it's like I won't know until it happens. The smallest things, like I get kind of bad anxiety for certain things, like for New York, for example. Just small things. I won't get into it, but like always just worrying about, oh, will this happen? Or like, what's going to be there? Like when I get there, is there going to be this thing? Is like, can I do anything about it? No. So like, why the fuck am I thinking about it? And it's just constantly, it's like, why am I thinking about it? This other thing I learned from probably like the most random person that I don't look to for much advice. But one of the things that Andrew Tate said that I will say, because I'll give him props for this, is one thing is like everything, this is kind of unrelated, but I think it's so important, is being big for me. Everything in your life is your fault.
Oh yeah.
Good and bad. But like the thing was good. I've never thought that, like everything in your life is your fault when it comes to the good stuff. Everything that you do, all of these things that come out of your life that are good, where you're making money or you're making like good connections, you're becoming successful, whatever the thing is, that is your fault. It's not just the bad things. I used to just look at it like everything that happened to me that was bad was my fault, and everything that good that happened to me was by accident. That's like the worst way to look at things. I did completely until I heard that. And I was like, switch. It's like, oh my God, how did I not even think of that before? I've talked to so many people that have realized that as well. It's like, bro.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. Accountability is like, it is one of the fucking things that'll literally change your life. It'll literally change your life, dude. You
get so much confidence from realizing that like the good things are your own fault as well. Yeah. Where like because I wasn't confident in the past probably, and like just felt like if something went right, it was just kind of fell into my lap, and it was like it wasn't by my own volition when it was entirely, but I didn't give myself credit for that.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm so happy that you're on the right track now, because yeah, dude, I mean, there's no such thing as luck, dude. There's no such thing as luck. It's hard work and chance come together, and you're at the right place. You're exactly where you're fucking supposed to be, dude. Divine timing. And I'll just tell you something, dude, like especially at these events, you can resonate with this so much, is like JFDI, dude. Just focus and do it. Because it's like, what's gonna fucking, we're gonna be gone in 4 days, like, you know what I mean? Like then we can fucking go back to our lives and do whatever. But it's like, yeah, dude, it's especially everywhere in life, like, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, I did this like special event for Vayner Sports as a collection, and I got invited to like the steak dinner at night. Like they were taking everybody out for steak dinner, and I was like, my wife was like, not like really, she was really sick with my youngest son, and it was like it was an ear infection, so it wasn't like contagious or anything, but they were down, and I was like, fuck, man, like I really want to go and like to the steak dinner. Like I feel like it's an opportunity to get to hang out with AJ Vaynerchuk and like, just speak to anybody. I love the team there. I talked to my wife. We had a really great conversation about it. And it's like, normally, like I wouldn't have gone because like my wife is everything to me, my kids and stuff. And so it's like, I talked to them and I went for it. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so committed to, maybe this will resonate with you, but like, I'm so committed to no regrets. Like I'm so committed to having no regrets, bro, when I'm fucking 90. Like that's my mindset all the time. It's like, yeah, like I want to do, like, if I could, I would do 5 podcasts a week because I'd have everybody on, but like, obviously I can't, but you know what I mean? Like that's the type of mindset, is like no regrets. Let's just fucking go for it. And yeah, it's fucking great. Let's just fucking ride. Listen, we're in fucking enthusiasm, and I'm absolutely riding. We're so excited every single day because of One Life, dude, because I ran through 3 brick walls this morning, no, I'm just kidding. But this is one of my favorite questions to ask people. What are 3 things right now in your life that you're obsessed with?
I mean, making content in this space has been like all I've been thinking about for the past couple months. And so like things within that have been definitely what I'm obsessed with. Like one thing is the idea of just breaking down the barrier to entry for new people and figuring out I have like this obsession with figuring out how that is even possible because we haven't seen it done yet. And so I'm always thinking about this. It's like, how can we get from this spot where like someone doesn't care about NFTs and then having this like $4,000 ute and what it looks like for them to be involved in like this community, but without having them needing to buy maybe a $4,000 ute? And like, what does that middle ground look like where like the power of kind of crowdfunding and community and all these things come together, and it's like a Web 2.5 effort, and like how we make that jump without just like trying to force feed people things they don't want. I've been like kind of obsessed with that idea and like how that's going to work and the content around that. Because I think that's going to be a really valuable thing to understand and be able to actually put into make actually happen if I get hired by whatever collection or whatever company in the future. I think if I go down that route, I think that's something that I'll be good at because I understand. I just understand the normal person decently well, and like certain demographics I understand better than most people. Just because like what I was doing before NFTs. So I've been kind of obsessed with that and like how more and more just like why people like certain things. Just like looking at like TikTok and seeing why certain things are popular for like why are kids kind of relating or are so obsessed with sped up Yeet songs? Like why like it's just really weird things that I've been thinking about. It's like how can I understand that to my best of ability so then I can use that in what I'm doing right now within Web3 to make like my life easier with kind of things that I'm trying to obtain. I've had like a lot of hobbies and passions and stuff that I've been obsessed about for like small periods of time. Whether it's like music or clothing or whatever the case is, I've like been into a lot of different things. But to be honest, like I wake up right now, I wake up at like 8 a.m, whatever. I will go make a coffee. I might watch like one random YouTube video just kind of to start the day. And then I'll get like on Twitter. And throughout the day, I'll walk Frank, I'll have lunch, I'll have dinner. That's like literally it though. And I'll just be making videos or trying to script something or talking to people or doing spaces. Or like that's literally all I do now. Like literally that's it. So I don't even have time to. This is why I have a list of movies and I don't even have time to fucking watch them.
Yeah. I get it.
It's rarely if I'm tired enough at like 9 p.m. where I'm like, I can't do any more. I don't feel like actually working or doing anything else. That's like when I'll watch a movie, but it's rare.
Are you obsessed with any kind of food right now?
Like, don't get me started.
I just love food. So I don't know why that popped into my head. I was just like, are you eating something all the time right now?
I just want to go back to fucking New York and have tacos. I mean, anywhere in America probably, because like in Australia, we don't have proper Mexican food because there's no Mexican people, like full stop.
Yeah.
So it's all, we have like versions of like Chipotle type thing. But they're just not as good as Chipotle, even though they're like nowhere near as good as that. And like, that's not even like good.
They're not even as good as Chipotle.
Places. No,
I won't even go to Chipotle. So that's just
exactly. I didn't even understand that though, till I went to New York the first time last year. And then to LA. After that, I was there for a few days, which was interesting. And then New York. If you
come to Vegas, bro, I will take care of you, bro. We have the best food. But when people tell me that New York has good food, bro, it's like actually not even close, bro. Vegas is like, it's got to be it's the best place in America for fucking food. We are so lucky here, dude. We are literally blessed. I'm not kidding. But that's sick. You're obsessed with tacos, but you can't really have tacos.
Yeah, bro. Like for real. I don't have like where I live right now. I'm not in a city, so I don't really eat out much. There was a new char grilled. No, is it char grilled chicken? Yeah, like with the the rotisserie with the coals and stuff, which is rare around here. They just opened up down the like 5 minutes away. We went and had that the other day. That was really good. And I'll just be eating like pizza and pasta and all this stuff. My dad's a pretty good cook. He is a good cook. He works at a restaurant now. Like he's like kind of semi-retired. He works like part-time. And so he'll bring home shit from there and like recipes and stuff like that. And he makes a bunch of stuff. Like we'll do pizza once a week, which is like all, you know, homemade with like the little pizza oven thing and all that sort of stuff. I eat too much. That's why I try to eat like only twice now a day. I'll have like a coffee and then I'll have something for lunch. And then like I try to, because it's that's the other thing, kind of to go back. It's like I'm trying to enjoy the time that I have here. So even though I'm trying to like run every day or like jog and like be a little bit more active, and I have like lost weight since moving here, I'm not gonna turn down food that he may bring home or make, because I'm not gonna have that forever. So it's like that, and I enjoy it too much to like, I don't really give a fuck if it's not good for me or like I'm eating too much. It's like,
No, dude, I love it. Listen, here's the deal. Here's the alpha, bro. You run so that you can eat whatever the fuck you want. You work out so you can eat whatever the fuck you want, dude. If you work out every day, you'll be able to eat whatever you want, dude. If you get an hour workout, like unless you're going crazy all day, which most people aren't capable of doing, like you'll be fine, bro. I literally, well, right now I'm on a diet, but before a diet, dude, I work out literally so I can sustain. I'm aware of it. Trust me. I'm fucking aware of it. I'm a dad. Like, you know, there's opportunities to present themselves, but no, I love that, dude, that you're taking it all in with your family and stuff. What has been, it's a little tough, but do you have an accomplishment in your life that you were like, this is the biggest thing I've ever done? Have you ever had that moment, like the biggest accomplishment in your life so far, where you were like, this is like, you were proud of it?
I mean, to get super detailed on this, it would take a while. So like, I'll try kind of thin it down, but still get the point. It's like, for me with YouTube, for like NFTs, before I even started making the videos, I was living with friends at the time, and I was like, when I like decide I'm going to do something usually, and I understand why I'm doing it and the reasoning, and it's like, it's not random. I'm not just doing it on a whim. I'm pretty specific. It's like, if I can do this in the way that I'm thinking and I can make it work and something doesn't fuck me up, it's going to work and I'm going to be successful with it. And that's exactly kind of what I said and what I did with the NFT stuff for YouTube. Like you said, there's no luck. It's timing and chance and hard work. It's like, I said that I was going to do that with the Web3 stuff. And within like 2 months I'd done it, and I was making a bunch of money at the time and stuff like that. And there's just a bunch of different things that happened. But
what about
saying I'm going to do something and then doing it and proving to myself that I'm not stupid is good.
I love that. No, dude, you can do whatever you put your mind to. What is it? Have you had one moment in Web3 that was like the best? Like one moment you can remember that was the most exciting moment of Web3 for you so far? Just like you were like, holy shit. Maybe a trade, maybe a video, maybe you know.
Yeah, there's probably a few. Meeting people at New York both years was really, really fun, because like they're people that I speak to every day. And then just like being in New York, I really like New York. I think it's really fun, especially being there like just for a week or less, like I was recently. Is always like a really insane experience. I don't think like the IRL stuff is kind of just different. It's just, but one of the big ones for me was I don't know. I find enjoyment when like I get stuff or like stuff happens for me, but it's also really fun to see like my friends win. And for Invisible Friends, I had this idea to do like an artwork to get a whitelist, and I was like, if I do this in the way that I want to do it, it's gonna work, which it did, because I'm good at I think one of the better things I'm good at. That doesn't make any sense. But one of the things I'm good at is like stepping away and seeing things objectively. And it's like I can kind of step away and say, yes, okay, mine is shit and this person's is good, or mine is good and this person's is shit, and this is how I can improve mine. And that's really good for like giving tips to friends and stuff. Like I'm brutally honest with like people that make content in this space to try help them get better, because I actually care about, I mean, certain people I care about and I want to help. And I was like, okay, yes, the invisible friends thing. If I do this, I'm going to get a whitelist and then this is going to be great. So I go to my friend, hey, can you make a song for this invisible friends thing? Make it like a minute long, this type of beat, whatever. So he makes the song, raps to it. Then I make the artwork, 3D, invisible friends, animated, walking. We combine it all together, post it, instantly get whitelist. Then I flipped it for like 8, 9 ETH or whatever it was. And I gave him like a third of it. I gave him a third of it, which was thousands of dollars. And he wasn't in the NFT space. He was just making music and going to uni and stuff like that. And it's one of my good friends that I was living with at the time, but I was actually up here for Christmas at the time when I was doing it. I was in the office at the time. Like I decided to do it and I like called him about it. And then it worked out exactly how I envisioned it, and like gave him the money. And that was really cool. Cause it was like, okay, getting thousands of dollars for myself, even though that was a shit ton of money for me at the time. Like this was before I'd made anything off like my group or anything like that. Like I'd really done much in the space. It was the first big thing, and it wasn't just like a lucky trade or something. It just like felt like, yeah. So and giving it to like making that happen for my friend was really cool.
Was
like
that yeah, it's incredible, dude. Was that your biggest flip?
Yeah, for sure. It like I also had a different whitelist, but the project never, that should have been similar, but the project never launched, which was sad. Actually, it was good for them. I'm glad they did that. But yeah, like one of the first things I did when I had some spare money was like literally just go out and buy Korean barbecue for like all my friends. Like my house and like a couple of the others that I was with in Sydney was go out there and like buy food for everyone and just like have a good time and not have anyone have to worry about like splitting a bill and all that stuff, because we're all poor, like 22, 21-year-olds at the time. So yeah, I think that's like the best thing. I wish I could do more of that, but I just don't have the money right now. So like ideally when I do, then like I can do those things and not have people constantly worried who's buying the Uber, who's paying for food, who's doing it. It's fucking annoying. Like it sucks. It takes the fun out of it.
That honestly, I'm so glad that you told that story, because that story shows so much about your character. And I'm glad that you got to say that here on camera. And yeah, man, I mean, I already knew about you, that you were that type of person, but the fact that you just told that story was truly amazing for sure. And that's amazing, dude. Like I hope to do that one day. Like, yeah, bro, like I'm trying to blow up so I can help other people blow. I don't know. I don't even want the money, dude. I just want to fucking change the world. Like that's how I feel. And definitely taking your friends out and taking care of them is the best. All right, dreams. I think dreams are super important, and I'm a massive dreamer. Like I said earlier, this segment is one thing, and it's going to be interesting for you, I think, but amazing. So what I'm going to ask you is, what is the dream that you have for your life? First, I'm going to tell you my dream, and then I'm going to ask you straight from your heart what your dream is. So I'm Gentle Tornado. I am an honest, enthusiastic, and successful man that will inspire others to live their life through happiness.
Now I go?
Yeah, now you go.
Wait, am I meant to do it that short?
You whatever, dude. Just give me it straight from your soul.
Well, I'm
what's
pastor.
The dream? Yeah. What's
I'm
the dream?
22. Yeah. And I want to be able to just do whatever I want. So I have the opportunity to do the things that make me happy, which is sometimes making other people happy. So, yeah.
Let's go. I love it. We're riding, dude. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. Listen, I'm going to read to you. It's my favorite part of the whole podcast. I'm going to read to you my favorite poem. And I probably first heard this poem around your age, and it absolutely changed my life. It's called The Dash. So it says, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
That's a good one. I like that.
How do you feel after that?
Yeah, I mean that kind of sums up this whole podcast, like what we've been talking about almost. I think that, yeah, I'm glad you read that. That's good.
It makes it important to make the moments count in your life for sure. Okay, so how we end it is you get to leave the audience with one final thought and one final question. So it can be whatever you want, literally. Doesn't even have to be NFT, or it can be literally anything. One final thought and a question.
Okay, I don't even know. My thought would be just don't be annoying. Don't be a cunt. And my question would be, when's the last time you ate pasta? And you should eat pasta. And that might be a metaphor. It might not be. However you want to take it.
That was the best question I've ever had on this show. Slash life advice. All right, listen, this has been Hype Happy Hour episode 50 with my man Pasta. He is an absolute goat. Thank you so much for listening. Anybody that's listened, like, share, subscribe. Honestly, just share this with anybody that you think can get value, and follow my guy Pasta because he's an absolute legend. I can't wait to watch his journey and watch him grow. Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Let's go. Oh, man.